back to the program, New Dawn on the People's Study OGTV 205 HF. We told you when we came in this morning that we'll be looking at the strides of Ogun State in the last 1 year and the challenges. Definitely there's no way any state that is as vast and as gifted as Ogun State was will not have some challenges in the last 1 year. It's less than 2 weeks to the end of 2021, and we felt that we should just do a review of how it's been for Ogun State government in the last 1 year. We have with us in the studio this morning Honorable Commissioner for Information and Strategy in the state, Alhaji Abdulwahid Udishile. Good morning, Honorable Commissioner.
Morning.
Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you. Without really over asking questions on the mantra of the state government, which is Ishaya, there's no way one will not go back to it, especially at the end of a year. The last 1 year before 2021 was quite a very turbulent year for most states in Nigeria because of COVID-19. But we want to start this interview by asking specifically how Ogun State government was able to stave off the challenges that 2020 actually posed, and how the state was actually able to quickly recover and face the prospects of 2021.
Well, thank you very much. Like you rightly pointed out, 2020 was a terrible year. It was a terrible year. We had so much planned, so much expectations that we thought we could do, only for COVID-19 to come in and disrupted everything, including our lives, that we had to adjust and do a number of things that we were not used to doing before. But thank God we were able to overcome, and I think it was a combination of the leadership working together with the people that we were able to overcome. And it takes two to tango. On our part, as a government, His Excellency President Abeokuta rolled out a number of programs and measures to combat the scourge of COVID-19, and it also required the support of the people to contain the spread. And I think the people actually listened to their government, and they cooperated with their government, and we were able to curtail it, such that in 2021 we were able to put a number of those challenges behind us. And a couple of months or thereabouts ago, we actually launched the mass vaccination campaign to combat COVID-19, and we were the first state to do that. And when the vaccine also came out and it came to Nigeria, we were the first state to also be given the vaccine to administer, and we were judged to have done very well, and that also informed the decision of the federal government to also give us that mandate to be the first state to launch the mass vaccination campaign. It shows that we are doing something good, something right. That was why the government had to repose their confidence in us. So we did that, and just about 2 weeks or thereabout ago, we were adjudged to be the leading state in this mass vaccination campaign, and we want to remain like that. And you don't forget His Excellency President Abeokuta, when he was launching the vaccination mass vaccination campaign, did say that by the end of this year, anybody that hasn't gotten his jabs, and might be prevented from accessing government facilities and services. We are very, very serious about that, and that's why the mass vaccination campaign is going on very, very rapidly, and I think our people are responding. That's what we should do. We should acknowledge and thank the people for that. So in 2021, the government haven't pushed the problem of COVID-19 and 2020 behind us. Now decided to face other aspects of our lives, especially provision of infrastructure. That's the major pillar of our Ishaya agenda. And to that extent, we have deploy resources, and I can say conveniently as of today, we have done, especially in the area of roads, we have done over 620 something kilometers of roads, both reconstructed, newly constructed, and rehabilitated, or in all the 3 senatorial districts. This is no mean feat. This is no mean feat. It's especially in the face of dwindling resources, because but the major challenge we have in 2021 has been adequate resources. There are so many things with government that the governor will have loved to do, and you know, President Abeokuta, the governor for MFR, the governor for Ogun State, is desirous to. In fact, it's so much in a haste to develop all parts of the state, so that when you enter Ogun State, you know you are in Ogun State. Not for anything negative, but in terms of facilities that you enjoy. You see, I'm sure for those of us who commute regularly on the Shagamu, Shiun, Abeokuta road, and we will love all our roads in Ogun State to be like that. You know, if not because of road safety, I'm sure if you drive on that road, you can close your eyes and your car will get to the destination without any problem. Of course, you can't do that. You can't do that. That's just an aside. So that's the kind of road infrastructure that His Excellency Prince Abeokuta, MFR, the governor of Ogun State, would like to be in all the 3 senatorial districts of the state. So, but for the challenge of resources, we would have done that in 2021. But that notwithstanding, we were able to do quite a number of roads in all the 3 senatorial districts. Our Star Road project, that the signature road project, is as the Jebo-Ekpe, Mojoda-Ekpe Expressway. That's a link road between Lagos and Ogun that opens up that corridor to the Lekki axis, which is the fast-growing economic zone in Nigeria now. So that road, of course, is completed, and we are waiting commission by His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR. And so that's, you know, of course, I've told you about the Shagamu, Shiun, and Shagamu Interchange, Shiun, and Abeokuta Road in Ogun Central. And we are equally doing the same thing with the Acton beside the Agbara Road in Ogun West. That road, at the time it's completed, will be the costliest, not in terms of resources expended on so will be the costliest this administration will have embarked upon. It's about 24-25 kilometers. It's right into the heart of our industrial zone, that industrial estate, as the Agbara industrial estate, the largest industrial estate in Nigeria, as well as in West Africa. So about how many months back now, we turned the sword on that road, and work, as I speak with you, work is currently going on that. So in all the 3 territorial districts, we are doing major road construction. There are other arterial roads that we are doing. And don't forget, these major roads that we're talking about, they are actually federal government owned roads, but His Excellency said the people don't care who owns the road as long as it is maintained. If it's not maintained, then the people will begin to complain. When they complain, they say government, they won't complain about the government in Abuja. They will geolocate their problems, and their complaints will be based on the government that they see. So that's why His Excellency President Abeokuta, MFR, the governor of Ogun State, is not mincing words in saying that we must take care of those roads, irrespective of the ownership. So that's one of the things we were faced with in 2021 in terms of infrastructure. Of course, the S aspect of Ishaya, social welfare and well-being, we have done quite a lot in that area. When you're talking about social welfare and well-being, you're talking about health, you're talking about housing, you're talking about all the other social infrastructure that we need, that directly impacts on the lives of the people. In the areas of wealth, of course, you know what we have done. We have we talk about the challenges of COVID-19, and in Nigeria today, no state has done better than Ogun State in fighting the scourge of COVID-19. Records are there. And,
okay, Commissioner, thank you so much. You've talked a whole lot about the things that the government have been able to do this 2021 despite the paucity of funds. And of course, one initiative that the government actually introduced was this, the Public-Private Partnership initiative, where, because of that, not so much of resources for the state to execute most of this project. They introduced that just so people could key into it and make development rapid. So how much of collaboration have you gotten so far? Let's talk about in in infrastructure development right now, talking about the public-private partnership.
Yeah, you see, His Excellency President Abeokuta, the MFR, the governor of the state, on assumption of office, being someone from the private sector, understands the importance of PPP, because one, government cannot do it alone, definitely.
Exactly.
So, and the government doesn't have enough resources. No government in the world has enough resources to undertake social infrastructure and all its programs. So there's need for collaboration. So His Excellency President Abeokuta, the MFR, recognized that early enough, and he made that a strong pillar of his administration when he came in on May 29, 2019. So we have been pursuing that, and we have been reaping the benefit of that in so many areas. I spoke about what we have done in health. We have the PPP has actually come to fore in our health care programs. When this administration came to power, there were just about 4 or 5 ambulances for a population of about 5 million. You can divide that number of ambulances with the number of people in the state. So, and as I speak with you, we are close to 40, more ambulances in the state, and most of these ambulances were actually donated by the private sector. And the main aim of having these kind of things is to make sure that all hospitals, especially the primary health centers, actually service and equipped with ambulances. As I speak with you, we have 236 wards in Ogun State, and the objective is to have a PHC in each of those 236 wards. And as I speak with you, we have done over 100 of such PHCs, and these PHCs have been equipped with tricycle ambulances, so that people, when they want to access healthcare, especially pregnant women, and they don't have to travel long distances to access healthcare at the primary healthcare centers. So, and these ambulances will come in handy. So, and these ambulances were actually donated by the private sector. And so, that's in the area of health. We've also had I think somewhere in Jebu, in Jebu is, I think one of these European government actually equipped some of our hospitals for us. And not too long ago, in Nota, the isolation center, the hospitals there was actually done by 2 multinational companies and was handed over to the government. That is one of the benefits of PPP that we have been able to reap. And even in the area of roads, we have said it, and the Shagam interchange, Papalan to Ilaro Road, that axis has been concession to Dangote as part of a tax credit scheme by the federal government. So that road is be done by the Dangote. The same thing with that's Oru Jebode, yes, Ekpe Road. That is done by Dangote. We're also looking at the Shagamu, the road, Shagamu Korodu Road. That's where we have the NMP, the refine,
so
that road, that one is that's Shagamu Korodu. That we are looking at an NPC to also handle that. Then the same thing with the Ota Idiroko Road to be executed by PPP by Global Command. So these are the things these are the benefits of the PPP that we are reaping from, and it's in all the territorial districts and in all our programs also. And so because of the seriousness of this government, because of the genuine intention of this government, the private sector have seen that this government one-man business, this government is sincere, this government is accountable, and it's inclusive. So they are willing and they are ready and they are doing it to support the government in the area of PPP to execute some of our projects.
So that of Abeokuta Songo axis as well, we saw the work that the government is doing, especially before now. We saw how the state of that road has been and how the palliative work the government have been able to do. Is it that precisely the governor or the government would definitely get a refund for this palliative, or is just something that the government is doing for the people of the state? Because it's a federal road, like you stated earlier, that some of these roads that you're doing are federal roads.
Well, the question of refund is a matter for another day,
Okay.
and I think it's between the government and the federal government.
Okay.
So that will be handled at that level.
Okay.
But we are not really, if you are waiting for that, we won't do anything. So,
Exactly.
But when the time comes to perhaps ask for refund, I'm sure the relevant government agencies will do that. But we are determined to fix those roads and for the benefit of our people. So that's what matters to His Excellency Prince Abeokuta, because like I said, people don't care who owns those roads. When there are problems with those roads, they look at the government that is very close to them and lay their complaints and lay the blame on that government. So we don't want that to happen to our people, because it's not a state government. No, okay. We don't want that.
Honourable Commissioner, in 2 years, it's quite amazing for some of us and for some watchers who have seen the strides of the state government, especially in the area of road construction. We've mentioned the Ijebu-Epe Lagos Road, some other roads that dot, the face of Ogun State. Of course, in the area of housing too, there are a whole lot of housing projects that this government has executed. And entering Ogun State from Shagamu interchange is now something that is spectacular, with the gateway city concept there. And of course, if you also go to Junta Cultural Center, that has been turned around massively, inside and outside. Now, we complain of funds. Then it begins to it's some wonder for some of us that how is government actually doing this, coupled with the fact that this is government that has a very huge civil service, and salaries have to be paid, allowances, the issue of pension, gratuities, and all of that. Yet, in the face of all of these projects are ready.
Well, like the saying, where there's a will, there will always be a way. Because the government is determined to do all these things, it has to find a way of funding these projects. And not too long ago, His Excellency Prince Abeokuta, the governor of the state, mentioned a phenomenal increase in our IGR in Ogun State. And as at October, thereabout, we have done almost about 80% of our IGR expectation. And the expectation also is that before the end of this year, we are going to exceed something like 100 billion. And this is happening without us maybe taxing or overtaxing the people or introducing new taxes. It's just proper management of the economy. That is what has given us that, and that has given us some resources to also execute some of these other programs. Honestly, I must confess that His Excellency has actually brought to bear his experience from the private sector to turn around the fortune of our economy in Ogun State, and he has a very good economic team that they are doing this, and kudos to my colleagues in cabinet who are in charge of the economy of the state. Of course, the governor is a chief economist, and is the one leading us, and so we are able to make some of these things, and like I said, where there is a will, there will always be a way. Once you are determined to do something, and this is my project, and the governor said this when he was coming in, that while we don't promise to do everything, we will do everything that we promised, and that we will leave Ogun State better than we met Ogun State when he came in as a governor. And we are determined to do that. And once, you see, that is what I've been pushing. I promised them this, I told them this, I'll do them that, I must do this. So that's why, and how we have been able to achieve this in the last 30 months.
All right, let's also look at the area of investment. Ogun State prides itself with that a destination of choice for investors. The governor has already said that, and of course reports have also revealed that Ogun State is doing well with that in that sector. How much of it are we getting, and of course how is the governor actually doing it, the team of the governor doing it, just so this is happening to our state?
Like you rightly pointed out, Ogun State is the first choice for investors in Nigeria today. And it's no fluke, it's not by accident. It's based on what we are able to put on ground. First, I spoke about infrastructure. But then, the most important attraction to investors is security. And Ogun State has been adjudged to be the most secure state in Nigeria. Not because we are just saying it. It took the Inspector General of Police to declare that he was there some time ago, and they actually said that Ogun State is the most secure. That is what, you see, capital does not discriminate. It will go to where it can best thrive. So because we have an environment that is secure, investors are coming in.
Okay.
We are working on our infrastructure such that when the investors don't want to come in and be fixing roads and be looking at electricity and be doing this and that. They just want to bring their money, put their business on ground, and begin. And so we are also doing that. That is fixing our infrastructure. I told you about the Atomisa Agbara Road that goes into the heart of our industrial estate. That place in the past had led to some investors either packing or leaving that area or not coming here. But because of the seriousness this government is approaching infrastructural development, they are coming in. Finally, the government will always say, we are the only neighbor that Lagos has, apart from the Atlantic Ocean. Lagos is the economic capital of Nigeria, the 5th largest economy in Africa, and we are the natural overflow for Lagos. When people leave Lagos, you can't find accommodation in terms of their businesses, they will have to come here. But we are not, what the government has done is that we want to turn the push factor. Push factor, as in the case of people being pushed out of Lagos into Ogun. No. We are looking at turning to the pull factor. We are actually the one attracting them. Not that they are being pushed to Ogun State. So we are doing everything to attract them. That's the pull factor that we are doing. So they are coming because of what we have done, what we have on ground. And that is a huge attraction for them. And like I said, security is number one attraction, infrastructure. And Ogun State is the education capital of Nigeria. Okay. We have more higher institutions in Nigeria, in the state, than any other state in Nigeria. And that translates to a pool of human resources, qualified human resources. And so when investors want to come in, when they are coming in, they are looking at, oh, how do I get workers, competent and qualified workers that can push my industry, work in my industry. And they have found us a huge resource in that kind of human resource in that respect. And one of the things the governor did when he came in was to set up this job portal where unemployed, underemployed people can advertise themselves in terms of putting their CV on that portal. And we also encourage investors, employers, to also go and shop for workers on that portal. And they have been doing that. So they have seen that we have a huge human resource.
So do you have a statistics as to how that is working right now? That's the portal.
Well, I don't have the current statistics, okay. But what I can say is that employers have been going there.
Okay.
People seeking employment, they're also going there. Okay. We have matched the employers, the potential employers with their potential employees. And both of them they are working seamlessly. So, and it's a daily thing. It's a daily thing. It's not one-off thing that I can say, oh, this is what we have done. Let me go and check it. No, it's a daily thing. And we have testimonials from some people who have gotten employed through that. And so there are so many of them like that. So it's a daily thing. It's an ongoing thing. But what I tell you is that it is actually working.
It's been a year of a plethora of awards too for the state government in the area of agriculture. Not too long ago, Ogun State was adjudged the best state in digital economy and all that. Now, How going to 2022 and approaching 2023, which is another political year for the state, how will all of this not become a fluke in the long run? Those awards, agric, digital economy, and some other personal awards.
It can't turn to a fluke, or because it has to be a fluke, because we didn't ask for it.
Okay.
We didn't ask for them. We didn't look out for them. They've actually bestowed on us based on what we have done. So it can't be a fluke, because if it was something that we probably actually purchased, we say, oh, then we can't. For the Digital Economy Award, it is there. Why we are given those awards? Don't forget, sometime in the year, the government launched this Ogun State Digital Economy Infrastructure Project, where where all the nooks and crannies of the state will be connected to the internet. And you know what the internet can do for businesses nowadays.
Exactly.
So now, that project is ongoing. So those are the things that I want to believe. Those are the things that those who go for the award saw. And then, by giving us the award, look at the OLAMs. This is a land scheme. And you see, you don't need to come to the Department for Lands or Ministry of Physical, whatever. If you want land anywhere in the world, in Nigeria, any investor or anybody that wants land in Ogun State, just go online. Look at the areas where we have the lands. If it's for residential, if it's for business, if it's industrial, you go there. Look at the available lands. Fill all the necessary information there. Pray. We are not paying to anybody. We are paying directly to the government. And we say 30 days after payment, you get your CO4. And that has helped. That's part of the digital economy thing that the people have seen and are giving us that award. So those ones are not flukes. They cannot be flukes because they are based on our programs, what we have done. So we didn't ask for it, we didn't buy it. So people who gave them to us felt that we have done something and they gave them to us. So it can't be a fluke.
Then Honorable Commissioner, I'd like to go to this one. I don't know if it's a deliberate one on the part of this government, because I've seen that and I've heard that a number of times. And that was actually, that came to a climax at the last budget presentation by the governor before the Ogun State. The governor said he's going to, Ogun State government will run an implementable budget in 2022. I want to underline that word, implementable, meaning that we're going to do those things that we can do that will really have impact on the people. Is that deliberate, or it's also a function of the state of economy of Nigeria?
You know, I said not too long ago that we will do everything, we deliver on everything that we promised. You see, that is being pragmatic. That budget is a budget of pragmatism. That is, this is what we can do, and we are going to do that. We won't promise heaven and earth. So, to me, it's just very realistic, implementable budgets. If you can only do 1 kilometer of road, we won't tell you we are going to give you 10 kilometers. That is deceitful. And this is not we don't want the deceitful government here. So, telling people the truth is part of our openness. It's part of the accountability in this government. And so we are saying we are going to run an implementable budget. If you can get 1 naira, we will not be looking for 1,000 naira. So to me, it's
where does that leave Ogun State? Looking ahead now, where does that style of governance, where does it leave Ogun State in the scheme of things? With the place of Ogun State in Nigeria, Ogun State has provided leadership for Nigeria, Obasanjo, Abiola, Awolowo, and so on and so forth. But we're also seeing governments come, government go, promising heaven and earth, and getting that not, almost always not getting that done. Now, this is a government that's saying, okay, we want to get things done in bits. We are not saying Ogun State will get to El Dorado tomorrow, but we want to do it in bits so that another government that comes after us will actually. I want you to take it from the perspective of where it takes Ogun State in the next 50, 100 years.
First, like I said, government must be honest. This government has been honest with our people. Government must be accountable. this government has been accountable to our people. And part of our own policy is to also run an all-inclusive government. I don't know whether any government in the past in Ogun State has been doing that, but that is what we are doing. That's why today, you see, any politician of note in Ogun State that is not in APC, maybe it's not from Ogun State, we will be able to put all hands on deck. You see, when we run an all-inclusive government, everybody sees as his own responsibility to ensure that things are done the right way, projects are executed. You see, if we put something in your area, the government cannot be there 24/7 to monitor what you are doing. But because it's an all-inclusive thing, the people there will monitor, oh, this is what this government is doing for us. So, like I said, government must be honest, we have been honest, government must be accountable, we have been accountable. We have now added inclusiveness to this. Of course, on top of which, we respect the rule of law. That is what the government has been doing since it got there. So that has taken us this far. So I think we should actually be commended and look at as a model for the rest of the country. So that let's do what we can do. And don't forget, one thing that this government has been commended for that we have been doing is that we have been completing projects left behind by our predecessors. If that has been going on in Nigeria for since we are advent of democracy or governance in this country, maybe we won't be where we are today. So we should actually be commended for things like this, and we should be seen as a model that ought to be copied. So I think it's something to be applauded.
All right. There's a saying that to counter fake news, we must be willing to provide the real news in today's world. And I think this is your ministry, making available information about how the government is being run, what you're doing, and all of that. So I want you to tell us where the people can actually go to track most of this project that you have executed, from the beginning of this administration to this moment, so that it won't give room for any misinformation to take place in the first place.
You see, thank you very much. One thing I will enjoy our people to do is to form the habit or cultivate the habit of asking questions. They should not just believe in somebody said this, somebody said that. They should ask questions. Interrogate whatever information you are given. And the best place to ask questions about government is the Ministry of Information.
Okay.
And to that extent, part of our plans in the new year is to set up a feedback desk, a 24/7 feedback desk, where people can ask questions about their government. It is their government.
Exactly.
And they will get a response. And that desk will also feed government back with what people are saying about the government. For instance, if anybody has any question about any road project anywhere in their locality that they want information, they will ask us. We'll find out from relevant government agency and give them a response. So that will, and that feedback desk is not just about telephones or whatever. We also have a specialized portal that even if you ask that question, I will give you a feedback. Another person asks that same similar question in mind. It doesn't have to ask us again.
Okay.
You go online and assess the response. So to that. So that would be a form of two-way communication between the government and the people. And like you rightly pointed out, the best way to combat fake news is to give the genuineness. And we have been doing that a number of times and a lot in this administration. For instance, in the Ministry of Information and Strategy, we just set up a Department of New Media to engage the people the best way, in the way they are used to communicating. Now, almost everybody gets information from the social media. And so we also have our social media handles that we put information that people can access and ask us questions based on what they hear. And we also reply to them. So it's a new department set up with the Ministry of Information Strategy to engage people in the way they know how best to communicate. So
maybe we should ask this very question then. We were preparing to host Mr. President this week, and of course the news broke out that the visit has been postponed, and a lot of fake news, a lot of misinformation started spreading all over. And of course, this is your ministry. Maybe you have to tell us, the people of Ogun State, why Mr. President is not here. He's not going to be here tomorrow.
Well, Mr. President will come to Ogun State, but definitely not tomorrow.
Okay.
Definitely not tomorrow. He's still coming. I can assure our people that Mr. President will come. No, it's just a question of scheduling. So when the new date will be communicated to people. But I can assure the good people of Ogun State that Mr. President is coming to commission our landmark projects in Ogun State.
Okay, before we leave information, because in the next 15 minutes, the Honorable Commissioner will be ending this interview. OGTV will clock 40. We'll come back to Ogun State, but we just want to quickly ask about this. In the next 5 days, Saturday 25th, which is Christmas Day, how lucky are you to be Commissioner for Information and Strategy when you are when OGTV is actually your commissioner when OGTV is clocking 40?
I remember I was in the same studio December 25th last year when you were 39, and I look up to when you be 40. Thank God all of us are alive.
Yes.
And we pray that we will see more of such celebration by OGTV. Personally, I'm happy that it's happening during my time. And of course, kudos goes to His Excellency Prince Abeokuta, MFR, the governor of Ogun State. First, for finding me worthy to be appointed as commissioner. I thank you for that, Commissioner for Information Strategy in Ogun State. And as a journalist, I feel elated that it's happening during my time. And as a young lad, I was there. I think on December 25th, 1981, I was glued to television because we were told that something new was coming out from Ogun State. So I was glad on that day when the People's Telly was unveiled, and we saw what happened. And that it happened during the tenure of a journalist as a governor shows that the importance we attach to information management. And since that time, OGTV has been has really been being the people's telly. And I can only wish you happy birthday and wish that you do more. Of course, the government under the governor of Ogun State, Prince Abeokuta, is ever willing and ready to support OGTV to take you to that greater height. And we are desirous to actually make OGTV one of the best, if not the best, in the country, and to compete with the best anywhere in the world. So I want to use the opportunity to, let's say happy birthday to you, and don't rest on your oars. And the government is right behind you, and we'll do our best to make OGTV better.
Okay, Commissioner, finally, there's no denying the fact that Ogun State is a politically volatile state, and 2022 next year. Like people who always say, any performing government will drop the ball, when it's getting close to election year. That's number one. Number two, there's always going to be perceptions and realities. How is this government going to deal with all of that? Governance, politics in 2022 as we approach 2023.
Well, we are in the midst of governance now. When it's time for politics, we'll play politics. But our focus now is delivering governance to our people. But just that's an aside. You see, but the most important thing is that we don't lose focus, and we will not lose focus irrespective of the distractions, and we will not lose focus, and we will remain focused on the delivery of the project that His Excellency President Abeokuta has promised the people. And there have been a few distractions in the past, and we have refused to be distracted. And 2022 will just be another year. And like I said, we are in the midst of governance now. When it's time to play politics, we will play politics. But what I assure you that when it's time for us to play politics, we'll be decent with it. We'll play decent politics, and we'll know how people will see the difference between our politics and the politics of what they used to know. And we will be decent when we want to play our politics. But we are in the midst of governance now, and we don't want to be distracted.
We must thank you so much, Honorable Commissioner for Information and Strategy in the state, Alhaji Abdulwahid Dudushile, for coming on this program this morning and for telling us so much under 45-50 minutes about the strides and the challenges of Ogun State in 2021. Certainly, and by the special grace of God, 2022, the Commissioner will always come back, and we hope he will still certainly pray that it's also around. But OGTV is clocking 41. That's next year. We must thank you so much for coming, Honorable Commissioner.
Thank you
very much. To have you. Okay, we'll take this break. We told you we are in celebration mood. We'll be talking about OGTV at 40. As we speak, our staff are getting ready for a walk, to an orphanage and correctional center here in Abeokuta. That's also part of our celebration of clocking 40. Effectively, Saturday, December 25, OGTV will 40. And so we want you to join us in this celebration. We'll take this break. We'll come back shortly. Stay with us.